In the wrestling world, the people are represented by two separate but unequally important groups. The wrestlers and bookers, who literally do all the hard work, and the fans, who endlessly nitpick and overanalyze everything they do. These are their stories.
Hey! It's Warhorse, and you need to shut your mouth, open your eyes, and clean out your ears, because it's time to listen to the Raw and Order podcast. That's right, they're bringing you the best in all that meaty podcasty goodness in one, an hour? Two? Who cares? Who gives a shit? You need to listen to it right now, or else Warhorse is gonna, roll your ass!
Welcome to another episode of Raw and Order, the Wrestling Booking Unit, the only wrestling podcast on the planet that is starting 15 minutes late because 10 minutes ago, JLB said he'd be here in 5 minutes. And he's still not here. I am your host, Detective Mark Sparks, and I am joined, as always, by my partner in crime, fighting District Attorney Vincent Kayfabe. What's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, recovering from planting a bunch of plants today, and Mother's Day and things.
As a cop, I'm used to planting things all the time.
Oh, brincha. DAs don't do that.
No, they just rely on the planted evidence.
That's right. And I appreciate you for telling me about it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That's what I appreciate about you.
Oh, that's what you appreciate about me.
Someday, some people are going to figure out that we quote Letterkenny a lot on this show. And they're going to go watch it.
Yes.
They're going to go watch it, and they're going to thank us for it.
They better watch it and thank us and appreciate us.
That's what they appreciate about us.
Mm-hmm. That's what they do. That's it. I'm going to make a shirt that says it's a crossover between Jericho and Letterkenny. That's what I appreciate about you.
That works.
It does work.
But you have to have the Jericho logo so that Letterkenny doesn't sue us for that.
Yes. There's a lot of things I can work on it. Yes. Yes.
I don't think it's a question.
Fuck. Oh,
hey!
Also joining us, JLB, what's going on, man?
It goes on. Just saw WrestleMania Backlash. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
And by just saw, you mean 15 minutes ago?
15 minutes ago, yes. Actually, technically.
48 minutes ago.
48 minutes ago.
It ended exactly at 11, 10-year time.
Yes. We are aware of that. You weren't here for the opening where I said the only wrestling podcast that started 15 minutes late because 10 minutes ago JLB said he'd be here in 5 minutes, and he's still not here.
I'm sorry. I'm here now. Doesn't that count for something?
Finally.
The Rock has come back to WrestleMania next
Side
year.
note, my son saw...
Oh, fuck.
My son saw The Rock in the intro and said, "That was The Rock. When was the last time he wrestled, Dad?" And I realized it's been 11 years.
Wow.
When CM Punk was still there.
Yeah.
His last match was with CM Punk?
Nope, it was with Cena after he beat CM Punk for the title.
Oh, shit. Okay. Damn.
But this is our WrestleMania Backlash review, as you could probably guess by us talking about WrestleMania Backlash. To remind everyone, we do
reviews. I can't believe we're calling it WrestleMania Backlash. I'm so mad at that.
Soon it's going to be WrestleMania Hell in a Cell, and then WrestleMania Money in the Bank.
We made that joke last year, bud.
And then WrestleMania SummerSlam.
Wish you weren't so fucking awkward.
The thing is, it's not a joke anymore. They're fucking doing it. They started
calling it WrestleMania Hell in a Cell.
They started calling the Raw after WrestleMania Raw.
Yeah, I know, man.
SmackDown after and before WrestleMania SmackDown. So in 1 year, they've expanded the use of WrestleMania fourfold. So, I don't think it's a joke. It's a prediction.
They've expanded As a side note,
It's a spoiler.
for tonight, they've expanded Money in the Bank to WrestleMania. That's fucking stupid.
Yep, new rules apparently for Money in the Bank, I guess. I mean, they didn't like specifically say this is a new rule for Money in the Bank, but they did say the winner of Money in the Bank gets to go headline WrestleMania, which is not what Money in the Bank was about.
It could also just mean that, hey, I'm in the middle, monkey in the middle. Oh. So it could also just.
I mean, it makes sense. I should be on the right.
That's a valid point.
Maybe
Monkey in the middle. Yeah. So, however, it could just mean that they have a chance to. They could use it for WrestleMania though. So
Well,
it
they
could just
always
be that.
could.
They always
Yeah,
could.
but-
So
But just the
I did
wording
like that
was
promo
very
for
awkward.
it though. I did like the promo for Money in the Bank. That's the one. That's the only kind of promo I like from Cody.
Cody's promo
is
was
when he
great.
does. Yeah, his promo was awesome. It sounded serious. It sounded like Money in the Bank was a big deal. Cody, great job on that. I wish you can do that with your promos on Raw, but one could only hope for so much.
We also have to say our nightly hello to Ambrosia.
Nightly hello. Thank you for supporting.
Hello.
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 But
It's a lady.
to remind it's a lady. Also to remind everyone, we do our reviews for pay-per-views different than most podcasts. Will go through, match by match. Here's what happened. What did you think of it? Yada yada yada. We instead go through worsts and then bests, because there's always going to be some worsts and there's always going to be some bests, and that's really what you care about, right? Yeah. So if you want a match by match breakdown of the entire pay-per-view,
Go watch What
hit
Culture.
up. Yeah, What Culture or Wrestling with Regret or Cultaholic or
hashtag
Wrestle Talk.
not sponsored.
Wrestle Talk.
Or
Or WTN.
Yes.
WTN. A week later.
Yeah, you'll get it next week.
You'll get it next week.
Before we do that, though, we should note to everybody that we're part of the Tatnus Co Podcast Network. Head on over to Tatnus Co Podcast Network when all of this gets over with. Check out things like Basement Bullshit, the In the Dicebox Slam, stuff like that. Check out us and prop us.
No need to keep it PG, Ambrosia.
I mean, falling asleep to our voice.
Ambrosia,
is
before
a
you go to
good
sleep,
idea.
pick a number 1 through 6, please.
Oh,
1 through
good
6.
idea. Look at you. Oh, audience
Ambrosia, 1
interaction.
through 6. Your
Like a
choice.
boss. She's gonna do it. She's gonna do
Hey.
it. Give her a moment. That's hard. 1 through 6. It's a lot of numbers there. Which one to pick? What do we do? It's a hard
21.
number
We're
to
going to go
pick.
with 3 then. Those two add together to be 3. We're going to go with number 3. Thank you for your help, Ambrosia. We greatly appreciate that. That also happens to be
That was
the
some quick thinking. That was some quick
legal
thinking. There.
drinking and smoking age in the United States.
Yeah, you can do it here in Quebec at 18, guys. So if you're
Yeah.
not 21, and we need all the tourists.
So we're going to get this out of the way quickly because we don't need to do these all the time forever. But we're going to start off with one guy who is now the ambassador for WWE, one Titus O'Neil.
Worldwide.
Titus, worldwide. We have one who is in WWE in this card. She's a hologram. She's the current NXT champion, one Mandy Rose.
Mandy Rose. Slinking around in her booty shorts. Just
We have one
paraphrasing Ember
no
Moon.
longer with WWE. No longer with WWE. One John Morrison. John.
Is he anywhere else? No.
Not signed with anything super. He's doing a lot of AAA right now. He's, I think, Johnny Campianos down there.
And since we're talking about people who are no longer with the company, is one Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly.
It's an AEW card.
Yeah, just well, make it an AEW card. I'll just write AEW on the back.
That's it.
Doesn't say anything. Just
I mean, we can always go to
Number.
shop.spreadshirt.com/Raw and Order WBU, and we can get an AEW sticker fakely made, and we'll be good. Or you can use the
Just put it
Pissant
over the
Podcast
NXT.
logo.
I sure could. All right, so moving forward, that was our little. I just wanted to get that out of the way so we could actually talk about wrestling instead of just cards. Kind of fun though. 2 of them no longer over there, and 3 not on the same brand. So
Yeah, that it's actually
Well,
more
four out of
surprising.
4 were not on the same. We're not doing what they were doing when that was done.
But
Because
it's-
Titus is just an ambassador. It's not just. Titus is
actually
only an
surprising to me that doesn't happen more often in these WrestleMania or these WWE cards.
ambassador. Yeah, that's true.
I get a little bit more surprised when I opened a pack and it's like all 4 of them are still with WWE doing the same thing they were doing
On the same brand.
You know, wait a second.
Look at you drinking water.
Oh, but it's okay.
But so we're gonna go through. We're gonna start with. Yep, there it is.
There it is.
I'm here. Don't worry.
But we're gonna go through. We're gonna start with the worst. We're gonna move to the best. Da Fabe had his hot take at the beginning that he was wrong, and this wasn't the worst pay-per-view of the year.
That still goes to Elimination Chamber.
And so that was going to be my follow-up question is, what is, in your opinion, worst pay-per-view of the year so far? And so you say Elimination Chamber. JLB,
Yes.
do you agree not the worst pay-per-view of the year?
I agree. So
Okay.
I would say Elimination Chamber was.
Well, I also watched a
Maybe even
GCW
Royal
that wasn't
Rumble.
great. But
Elimination Chamber was worst. Yeah, I'll go.
technically, WWEs aren't pay-per-views now. They're premium television
Oh,
events.
stop it.
Yeah.
They're paper.
Premium streaming event.
Don't WWE your scenario here. All right, they're pay-per-views.
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view. Sunday,
fuck.
Sunday, live.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry, Ambrosia.
Yes.
She was more saying
It's not a
saying she
question.
was going to keep it PG.
It's not a question. Oh, so you're saying more like, yes. Yes. No, you got to put a little stink on it.
Got to put a little sting.
A little pepper on it.
It's not a question.
Good old Letterkenny. I officially found all of the seasons, so I'm so
On Crave TV.
not on Crave, on through other means of getting.
Oh, okay.
Wife or not on Crave.
Arg, matey.
Army.
I mean, I
I
understand.
forgot my
I
patch
appreciate.
at home, but so
Yeah.
I've done lost it.
I mean, I fully appreciate. I'm not copyright police up there, so it's fine, whatever. But just as a matter of question, why not on Crave? Since it is a
Is
Crave
it fully
TV.
on Crave? No, because it's.
It's a Crave TV original.
Yes, they made it Crave.
Oh.
I thought we went over this on Tuesday.
We
Club
might
going up.
I think I
on
have.
the
No, but I
Tuesday.
think it's. I'll double check. We didn't check though, did we?
I thought we went off at air, I should say. I mean, we were done by the time we were talking about it off air. But when we got done, you were in the process of checking it, going, "Oh,
No, because it was on Prime, and Prime you had to rent it. I'm
Prime,
on there right
you
now.
also can only get the first 5 seasons. There's 10.
Yeah, Letter Kenny. Nope, Letter Kenny
Anyway.
shows nothing. Yes, we checked, and I think it's only an American thing for now. It's not on
Crave?
Crave because for you
But
guys
we
it's
don't-
on.
yeah, we don't have Crave in America," and it very specifically says a Crave original.
No, we do have Hulu, and Hulu has the rights to it in America. America. Fuck. Oh, fuck.
Now, just make sure you're spelling Letter Kenny without an E at the end of Kenny.
Without an E at the end of. So it's Kenny.
K-E-N-N-Y.
K-E-N-N-Y.
Oh, that might have been my
When I
mistake.
Google it, crave.ca, Letter Kenny, all 10 seasons, now exclusively streaming, Crave.
Oh, fuck. You're
Oh
wrong.
shit! Manage account. Maybe I'm on the wrong account. That's why I'm on the free one. Ah, there you go. Okay, cool. So I had it there anyways.
I mean, so feel free to watch it through your other means. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more. I'm fine with that. I have no problems there. I'm just
If you
saying.
could download
you know.
season 6 and send it to me, that'd be great. I'm ready for season 6. Arg. Matey. All right. So
we're
going to start talking worst.
Yep. Worst match of the night. Now, there are only 6 matches. So I'm going to run down the total matches, and then we can start talking about worst. Started off with Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. You had Bobby Lashley versus Omos. You had AJ Styles versus Edge. Ronda Rousey challenging Charlotte Flair in the only title match of the night.
Surprisingly, not the worst.
Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin.
Also, surprisingly, not as bad as I thought.
And then the Bloodline versus Drew McIntyre and RK Bro.
So I'm going to go ahead and just say this: it was surprisingly better than I expected, but my expectations were horrible for the match that I considered the worst match of the night. And it was Omos versus Bobby Lashley. Lashley carried that match very well. Omos doesn't even know the right facial expressions to sell things.
That's valid.
Let alone, I mean, he stood up during the Hurt Lock. Bobby can hardly reach.
Right.
It's just the whole thing was just. I'm really glad MVP's there to tell him what the fuck to do, because he doesn't even know how to smile or be pissed off or act hurt at the right time. Like it just, I don't know.
Who's better, Omos or Dominic Mysterio?
Ooh, Omos, but not by much. Oof. Omos has a smaller role to have to play because he's just a big, powerful man. But
that's fair.
But it frustrates me because they had big, powerful man in Keith Lee, great performer. They had big, powerful man in Braun Strowman, above average performer, whether we liked him or not. And I know Smarks is going to say he definitely didn't like him. The dude was an above average performer for a big dude.
Yeah, I enjoyed him for what he was doing. I hated him when he started opening his mouth. That's where he lost me. But no, he was fun to watch, throw people around, much like Brock Lesnar. That's when they're the most fun, is when you just have them throw.
And they're doing the same shit with Shanky now. Like you don't look like a big scary dude.
Yeah.
What are you, just getting the cheapest guys to be the big guy who throws people around? Get ones who can do it right.
And give him a new gimmick, man. This whole thing he has a nice build, Veer. But
and if he's going to be the Nigerian giant, by God, have Apollo be with him.
Yeah. Oh, you were talking about Shanky.
No. Omos's title is the Nigerian beast or Nigerian giant.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And oddly enough, he does not speak with a fake Nigerian accent.
You mean like Apollo does?
Yes.
But if you're going to obsess over Nigeria, because that's really what's a country in Africa? Nigeria. Perfect. That'll be both of these guys.
That's it. Yep.
Sold.
Vince, what's another country in Africa? I don't know.
Nigeria. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just fucking Nigeria. That's the only one.
You had French Guiana. You could have gone with French Guiana.
That entire shape is Nigeria.
Chad.
The whole thing is Nigeria. That's how he labeled it.
Kenya. Congo.
I think those are all in South America.
South Africa.
I'm pretty sure South Africa's in Asia. It's all Nigeria. That's it.
Libya.
I don't use
now
Google.
you're just
Google
making shit up.
Me.
The land of Gaddafi.
Where's match,
Momar?
Guys?
What?
Did you agree
Omos
on
thing? We're all agreeing that? Yeah.
Are we 3 for 3 there?
I think it's 3 for 3. Although I personally, think frankly the Rousey Flair match came really close for me.
Really, I thought it was better than I expected.
I thought that was pretty
and maybe my
match.
hatred for Rousey the entire time but like I was angry when Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin came on that I didn't use use Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair for my pee break. You know, it's like, God damn it. Now I got to pee during Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin.
That was actually a really much better than expected match.
Well, that's my point is I'm like, And so for me, like bottom three, Omos versus Bobby Lashley is number one. For me, Ronda Rousey and Charlotte was number two. But Rousey, I hate the way she works.
Dude, I respect her a lot more, though. She took a lot of bumps. That Mother's Day ending was pretty dope. I enjoyed that. Yeah, I thought it was a really good match for a Rousey match. I think this might have been one of her best matches. I don't remember the WrestleMania triple threat match. So maybe is still top, perhaps. But this one was pretty stellar. This was the best Rousey Flair match.
Also, her arm toss, over shoulder arm toss, much safer now than it used to be. And it could partially be because Charlotte's so tall.
Yeah. Right. Well, I do know Ronda Rousey, at least leading into WrestleMania, was training heavily with Shayna Baszler. Right. And so it could be that Shayna Baszler's influence has started to help her say, hey, listen, you need to, here's the deal. In MMA, you don't have to worry about the safety of your opponent, right? That's not your job to worry about. Your job is to just beat him up.
That's Herb Dean's job.
Yeah. In fact, your job is to kind of want to actually hurt your opponent. But wrestling is a different beast altogether. Your job is to try to keep your opponent safe while making it look like you're trying to kill them.
Precisely.
But anyways, so we're all in agreement. Omos versus Bobby Lashley, Worstman. To be perfectly honest, like that match was over, and I know JLB and I were both like, I don't even remember who won. I was
Omos
down.
Omos won.
Omos.
I know Omos won, but I was like, I don't remember it happening.
I mean, I technically missed the ending of the match because I went to take a shit because I felt one coming in. I'm like,
that's fair. That's fair.
Oh, poop.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Sorry for everyone for such a description.
Yes. So moving on.
Fucking cast.
Most predictable moment of the night.
I guess I'm gonna have to go with the Bloodline winning.
See, and we were actually talking. I thought that before the show, I thought that this was a good chance to give the Bloodline a loss, taking the titles off of them because it didn't fucking matter.
Yes,
right.
So and so I was actually predicting that this was the time that Drew McIntyre and RK Bro would get a win. Although before the show or before the match, I was saying, why the fuck is this match even happening? Because prior to this, they'd announced that it was going to be RK Bro versus the Usos in a unification match, and then Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. And then they just suddenly, like a week ago, were like, nope, smush them together. Like Play-Doh.
I doubted that was that sudden. I think it'd been planned for a while.
It might have been planned, but it was all of a sudden last week. That's what they did.
Apparently, it was all planned though from the get-go. It was never supposed to be.
My point is, from an outside perspective, we had one thing, and then all of a sudden, a week ago, they're like, "Nope, squish. Now it's this."
Yeah.
I think the most predictable moment of the night was probably. I'm gonna go with Rousey winning. I don't know that it was that predictable. Probably the introduction of weapons into that match was the most predictable portion.
I was not. I did not predict the two kendo sticks in the back though. That I was kind of like, who just has kendo sticks in the back?
For me, it's kind of a nebulous. The most predictable moment was interference in the Edge versus AJ Styles match from someone other than Damian Priest. Because we knew Damian Priest was banned from ringside.
But how he came out was still pretty awesome.
To the aisle.
Came out to the aisle and pointed, and he said, listen, I'm in the aisle. I'm not in the ringside yet. Right. There's the line. In case you didn't know, that's the line that this becomes ringside.
Finn Balor coming out to help.
Finn Balor coming out to help could have been, but I'm like, what's going to happen is someone is going to help Edge win over AJ Styles. whether it was the person who did come out to help or someone else altogether. I figured it was going to probably be someone new to whatever they're calling that fucking group again.
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day, that's right. I personally, I don't think you should name a group until there's 3 members.
Right.
Then it's
Well,
just
they were implying that there was going to be a 3rd member.
Yeah, but just wait until, and then you can be like, we are Judgment Day. Anyways, but so that was
Bro.
Arcade Bro is a
That's
tag team. And that's different. It's
Oh,
not the name of a faction, it's the name of a tag team. And we've talked
Okay.
about the
I
difference
already
between
knew where
factions
it
and
was
tag teams.
going with this, so I'm just
Yeah.
like dropping it. Yeah.
But so, but yeah, so it was Rhea Ripley who turned heel a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and so we knew she was a bad one
Bad
now.
bunny.
So
Bad apple.
yeah, bad apple. So she did dye her hair black because that's what you do when you're a bad guy.
When you're evil.
Yep, it's the rule. It's like I've turned evil. What's the next? Oh, I have to dye my hair black.
Edge didn't dye his hair black.
Because Edge was always a bad
He's
guy.
the boss.
He's the boss. He doesn't have to.
He has an exception.
Mm-hmm.
He's an exception to the rule. All right.
But-
See, so we all kind of figured Rhea Ripley was going to be joining the faction, but it was still a shock to me that Rhea Ripley, it was actually Rhea Ripley. I kind of maybe figured it out because I'm like, that's a really small figure. No offense, Rhea. That's a really small figure. It has to be a woman. It's got to be Rhea. So that's when I kind of knew. But how they still did it was still pretty shocked because I didn't expect them to do it this soon.
I
At least.
I
A
was
still
literally
employed Gulak would have also been a good option there.
yeah. I was a little frustrated with the camera work in that whole thing. And it was simply this. After the victory, they focused on Edge for so long. And you could see in the background that a camera was following around the hooded figure. And I'm like, we don't need to keep looking. The intrigue right now is not with Edge winning. The intrigue is who was the masked person, right?
Right.
And so that should have been the time that they cut to the camera
close-up.
of
Yeah.
the masked person from the back walking around outside and then getting into the ring or whatever. It
So
was a
Rhea Ripley
frustration
from the back, you're going to be able to tell that it's a woman.
with the big hood, just shoulders and
I don't
back
know
of
that
the
it covered
head.
her butt, dude, and she wears tight pants.
I said shoulders and
Oh.
things just from the back.
Okay.
The hood in the back. She's walking around. You could, frankly,
Then you couldn't have known. If you didn't.
frankly, it was a lot longer before you could truly recognize it as Rhea Ripley. Even when they did full shots of it, just because she wasn't wearing her normal ring gear bottoms, right? And they were different design. And frankly, because a lot of men have slender hips and you know, it was one of those things where it's like that could have been half a dozen cruiserweights.
Let's keep
under
this
that.
PG, bud.
When the fuck have we ever worried about keeping this PG?
Keep describing Rhea Ripley for me, would you?
Yes.
Yeah.
The one woman viewer that we
Yes,
had
yes, yes,
probably
yes,
fucking
yes, yes.
left.
Oh, fuck.
Bye, Ambrosia.
Well, it's okay. She's probably fallen asleep by now because she's
There
been
are
bored.
some deep voices. Stagnant, deep
Yeah,
voices.
she loves her.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck.
yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Anyway, moving on. Most predictable moment. We all gave our predictions.
Yes.
Botch of the night. Almost
Botch
being in the
of
match.
night. Almost being in the
Mhm.
match.
Bobby trying to put on the
Yeah, that's probably a
sleeper
good one.
hold as he was slipping off his back and did not catch himself and didn't get the sleeper hold on. It's a poor botch. It's not really a botch.
Well, I mean, in the end, if there's one really good thing we can say about this, is there wasn't any what I would call full-on botch.
Yeah, injury
like,
botches.
Or not even injury botches, just like moves that went wrong. There wasn't any moves that went wrong as far as I could tell. There were just
Missed
like moves that didn't look great at times. Like one of the things I was gonna say is Rousey getting in and chasing Charlotte Flair around with 2 kendo sticks, except one of them was already broken in half and literally falling apart in her hands. And, they should have just planned ahead and had another kendo stick for her to grab. I mean, I'm sure there's a dozen of them under the ring, but that's not really a botch so much as just, and it just didn't work out the way they
I just
imagined.
didn't realize that kendo sticks had that much use that they keep them around all the time.
Apparently they're good for lots of things other than beating people. I don't know. I've never seen them used in any other way, but
they must be tools for putting together the ring.
Yeah, they must need them for putting together a ring. It's like, trash cans are also apparently really important for putting together a ring.
Absolutely. Pie tins. What?
Mm-hmm. What?
You're muted.
What?
Bud.
What?
I said fucking assholes because I knew that was all you. That's right. Just that's even such a guilt look too. It's not even like I didn't do that.
You beat me to it.
You son of a bitch. Fuck you both. So I will just turn my camera off, you fuckers.
No,
we're done.
We're
done.
You done? You done? You done being little bitches? Huh?
What were you saying? You were talking about Ronda's.
I don't know. Oh, I was muted. So you know what? Y'all missed out on what I was saying. Next.
I'm sure it was.
Yep, I'm gonna cry about it.
It was the most elegant I've ever been.
The most profound statement you have ever made.
Statement I've ever made.
It's not hard, but that's okay. That's okay.
Wow.
But he's got a point.
Savage.
Yeah.
What
was I gonna say though? So I also thought maybe one of the when Charlotte Flair actually tossed her to the outside barricade. One of the times that she fell, it looked like she legit fell on her head. But whatever, maybe that was just the camera angle or whatever, and I just noticed and I was like, "Oh my god," kind of thing. But there wasn't any necessarily crazy botches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more or less what I mean. It's like it's to the credit of all of the performers, yes, even Omos, in this, that there weren't any what I would call true botches, absolutely messed up moves. There were moves that didn't look great. I mean, I get what they were doing with Lashley trying to put the Hurt Lock on and Omos just standing up and being too tall for Lashley to truly get the Hurt Lock
keep
on.
it. Yeah.
I get but it didn't play well to the camera. And that's part of and that's a production problem or a choreography problem or I don't know, something. But wasn't much of a botch. I mean maybe you can say a botch was Finn Balor kicking the fuck out of Damian Priest so that suddenly he was at ringside and then actually in the ring. Right. And at that point, there should have been some sort of penalties taken. You know what I mean? I mean, just like, hey, you weren't supposed to be here. Well, I didn't want to be here. I wanted to be over there. He made me over here.
I didn't want to be drunk in public. They threw me in public. I wanted to be
blame
drunk in the bar.
But
they threw me out.
But so, okay, we're going to move on to overhype of the night. As I click 3 times.
Overhype of the night.
So this would be the match or segment that was hyped up to be like the best thing in the world and didn't deliver the most.
I
don't know. I was very under
Charlotte here.
Tons
of hype around it, man. Tons of hype. Like
really
almost in Lashley, they haven't been hyping as much. They've still been hyping.
They kind of hyped it a bit with the fucking arm wrestling and the this and the that, and they really spent
That's a
too much
fair
time
second.
on it.
I mean, both of those two were hyped more than they should have been.
I don't know, but I mean, if anything, it was still a really good match. Maybe because I was really expecting not much from it.
Oh,
but
it was probably Ronda's best match she's ever put on.
Yeah, aside from maybe that triple threat WrestleMania match, which I can't remember.
Which wasn't carried by her; it was carried by Becky. So
that's fair. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go with Omos and Lashley.
Those are both fair statements.
Yeah,
right?
fair. I think just for the amount they hyped the Charlotte and Ronda match, it probably has to get it. Although, like, I don't know. I mean, like, Edge versus AJ was hyped the fuck out of, and I'm not saying it wasn't it wasn't a good match, but I mean, it wasn't anything super special, you know. AJ had a hard time selling the injured arm storyline, considering almost all of his moves used that arm.
Yeah, but that Styles Clash though with using the ropes was a great storytelling of. Oh, great! Now I can
There were good
use
storytelling
this to
moments.
help.
I don't know. I almost felt that, like I said, I expected there to be some sort of interference, some sort of turn, something like that in it.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought that the interference should have been bigger than just
Push him off the ropes.
showing up, pushing him off the ropes, and then I'm done. That's all I needed to do. You know what I mean? There should have been a ref distraction. I mean, they had the thing right there with Finn Balor and Damian Priest out there. The ref gets distracted and trying to break up that fight. And then, masked person comes in and hits. At this point, let's just say instead of trying to keep the suspense for after the match, you just have, person comes in, pushes him off the top, hops in there and hits him with the riptide. And then stands up, removes her mask.
That would have been cool too. Yep.
And then
AJ's small enough that she could, so
yeah. And AJ's small enough. So like a bigger interference, and then Edge picks him up, hits him with a spear, and then the referee turns around and counts the 1, 2, 3. A bigger something, but no. Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair probably my overhype of the night too, but I just think that Edge and AJ was at least worth contender. So. Worst performance of the night.
Omos.
It's the 4-letter word, Omos.
I'm going to give a runner-up. It is Omos, but the runner-up on this is the promo for Money in the Bank. Who in the fuck decided that performance, it wasn't Cody's fault, but the performance and whoever decided to make that Money in the Bank a WrestleMania tie-in is a fucking moron.
Mm-hmm.
We have no use for that fucking briefcase to be carried around for fucking 9 months now.
So I think they initially did that is because they haven't been doing much with the briefcase in the last 2 years.
So do something with the briefcase. Make it valuable. That's not on. That's
throwing
not on
out the baby for the bathwater, right? Is what it is. It's like, have you never heard that phrase?
No.
That phrase is older
throwing
than
out the baby with the bathwater.
Yeah,
throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Yeah, it means the bathwater's dirty. Let's throw it out and let's throw out the baby too because it's in the bathwater. That the statement basically means. Just because something's not working doesn't mean you trash the whole thing, right? In this case, if they haven't been doing much with the Money in the Bank briefcase, the answer is not to totally change everything about the Money in the Bank briefcase. Right. It's to do something with the Money in the Bank briefcase. So, for instance, 2 years ago, they had Otis win it, and then
without climbing the ladder.
Without climbing the ladder, yeah.
Right.
And then like, oh shit, we didn't have a plan for what Otis would do with it.
Right.
We just thought this would be funny.
And we just thought it'd be funny for a fat guy to win it.
Pretty much.
So, fuck. How do we write ourselves out of this? Eventually we have.
And then they chose the wrong way to write him out of it. You should have just had him challenge for the tag titles because he's a tag teamer.
Yeah. That's the deal. There's nothing in the rules about Money in the Bank that you have to go after a singles title. So you just have them say, "Hey, listen, Tucky, let's get together and let's take those tag titles."
Hey, Tucky, we're gonna go win the tag titles, Tucky.
Yeah, that would have been.
And then we might have another wrestler still employed.
Yep.
And a true tag team.
Yes.
I guess we kind of do with Otis.
What were they called again? The Destruction?
Heavy Machinery.
No. Heavy Machinery. That's it.
But instead they're like, and so then they're like, oh, let's give it to Miz and let's have Miz cash in it and win and then lose like a week later.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed that Miz win, but Booby Lashley.
But so instead do something with it. Don't just have a person win and languish with it. Do something.
And then the year before, you had Corbin just randomly lose in a Raw match, pretty shittily. Shittily is not a word, but you know what I mean.
We'll make it a word.
Fair enough.
In the words of Judge Mills Lane, I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. Yeah.
So anyway, that's my worst performance. Whoever wrote that. Whoever made that decision, if that's a permanent decision, if that's not just a misplug, that's a fucking horrible decision.
And if it was live,
there's
I'd be
11
like,
months.
That's a misplug. But that was written, that was filmed, that was edited, and I'm like, you guys chose to keep that in, so hopefully you see.
That was what my thoughts were. Is they left it in. They like. Either they're telling us when that person's going to cash in, which is fucking stupid,
right?
Or
WWE doing long-term booking? Never.
So anyway, that's my runner-up. The actual worst performance of the night is almost in a ring.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on to worst move of the night.
Well, Ronda made her armbar more effective by going back to the bent armbar in that match. And I know that, Smarks, you were just sitting there cringing because you're like, oh, yeah, she went to the nice version. That's how she got Charlotte to say, I quit.
Yeah.
The fact that the chair was used was also pretty dope.
Yeah. Oh, how dare you bend my arm in the direction arms are supposed to be bent. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch.
I'm going to do a hot take here. Cody not being prepared for Seth's counters. It's just a hot take. It's not legit. It's not how I actually feel, but it's a hot take.
Fair. That's honestly a match I'm going to rewatch again, though, because that match for me was
fire.
Absolute fuego. I knew it was going to be. I was shocked that it was the first match of the evening, but I was also down because I was ready for it.
Yeah. I was a little surprised when it was first match of the evening, but then at the same point,
we got good matches later.
Well, it
was still the best match.
I stopped to think about it, and I'm like, where else would you have put it on the card from a realistic standpoint? Because you can't really put it main event because you've got the Bloodline versus Drew McIntyre and RK Bro, right? You don't want to put the match before the main event because as fire as this match was, it would then make the main event feel like a step down, right?
It would have devalued every other match that would have followed it. It would have really hurt Madcap Moss and Baron Corbin, which was a good match, and was plentiful. It would have buried the women's match.
Yep.
Yeah, that's valid. I think
maybe the only reason we think Omos and Lashley was so bad is because it followed that.
Well, Omos and Lashley also was graciously the shortest match of the night as well.
You also cannot open with Omos and Lashley.
No,
that would have been,
and that's the other thing.
Is tune-out machine.
You have to start with something strong and fast. So the only other one
from AEW, that's what they learned.
Edge and AJ
would have been the only other logical opening match. And then you put Cody and Seth there, then it, like you said, buries the women's match. So at first I was surprised by
Omos match after that, and then you could have the women's match.
Well, then you would have had those two in a row. You'd have had Seth and Cody right after Edge and AJ,
and honestly, I think people were
the only contenders for best match of the night would have been done.
Yeah, and fans would have left. I don't think fans would have left.
No,
They paid
worst
all that
move.
money.
Worst move was probably Lashley's power slam to Omos, just because he is 425 pounds. He's a difficult lift. He doesn't lift himself. He doesn't jump for people.
Right.
That particular move, I'm going to give. We did not get a Charlotte moonsault, so that's a plus.
Hey, we didn't. I know. I was shocked by that.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, overall worst move.
Maybe roll-ups for wins. Sunset flips for a win. I've never seen that in my entire life.
What sunset flip for a win? Which match was this?
Madcap Moss.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I enjoyed the roll-up, though. And I think if I hadn't watched the AEW FTR match to really enjoy how a roll-up win would work, I really liked the story that they told with the roll-up for Seth and Cody, though.
Yeah.
That is a good way to protect.
Yeah, I'm going to pull your tights. Oh, all right. You're going to pull my tights.
I'll
I'm going to roll through, and I'll do it to you.
Yeah. So I enjoyed that. And maybe you have AEW to thank for why I enjoyed that so much, but that match was pure fire. So I don't think they could have done any wrong.
So, yeah. I mean, I guess, I don't know, like, Omos trying to pick Bobby Lashley up by his skull on the outside. Like, it's
Right.
It's always silly enough when the person reaches out over the top rope and grabs the person by their hair and somehow or another has the leverage to get them back into the ring that way.
Right.
But Bobby Lashley has no hair, right? So he's just like, I've got strong enough hands that I can just...
If you can do that, you're a dangerous human being.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your hands would have to be certified weapons.
No, I've got it. This is nomination for both worst move and best move for different reasons. Worst move, not having a single match on the kickoff show.
Best move.
Best move, not having
Not
a single
very
match on the
match
kickoff show. So I didn't have to watch the kickoff show,
So
which
it was
means
all talking?
it was all talking, and so I didn't have to watch Pete Rosenberg talk, or JBL, or fucking
I mean,
Booker
JBL,
T.
I agree with. Or Booker T. Yeah, his fucking ducky fucking thing still.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Ducky, quack quack.
Chucky ducky quack quack.
Goose.
No, that game is fun, but he does his shucky duck quack or whatever, and I'm good. I'm good without it, Buck. I don't need it. But I don't watch it anyway, so what do I care?
Yeah, I totally forgot about the kickoff show, and so that's the other nominee for worst move, and that was WWE for putting a premium streaming event on fucking Mother's Day.
Yeah. However, it played well into one match.
Yeah, it did play into
It did.
one match, but I don't know. Like, I got dirty looks by my wife most of the night because of this. She's like, it's Mother's Day and you're watching this?
Yeah, fuck you guys.
Listen, there's going to be more of these.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Also,
I appreciate you
graduation
364 days of the year.
weekend. In like 30 states, it's
And I say
graduation
364 because you went to watch WWE this time.
Yeah. But yeah, like DFA was saying, also graduation weekend for almost all the colleges in America. You know.
weekend. Several states for high schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, WWE
And for
don't
the
give a
states
shit.
where it
You'll-
wasn't high schools, if you're targeting a demographic, the states where they graduate in June, just so you know, usually have prom last night.
True.
So,
Yeah.
But you're a
again,
hardcore WWE fan. You'll watch no matter what is happening.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness,
A lot of those
if-
guys think they're losing their V card the night before, so they're going to prom.
In fairness, if you're in high school and a hardcore WWE fan, you probably aren't going to prom. I'm just going to be honest with you. I hate to break it to you, but that's a pipe dream.
In this era.
And you know, you might just want to either, and this is rough for me saying it, but either table the WWE fandom for a few years and enjoy your youth and popularity that comes from not saying you're a wrestling fan, or just embrace it and know
Poor
that you're not
Smarks
going to
grew
prom.
up in an era where it wasn't cool to be a wrestling fan in high school.
I mean,
My
it's still
freshman and
probably not
sophomore
cool
year
to
were
be a
that way,
wrestling
but my
fan.
junior and senior year, the Attitude Era had started. NWO was full-fledged. People were wrestling fans all over the place.
Yeah,
And
but
not
it's like me
anymore.
when I started high school in 2001. I know, I'm young. When I started high school in 2001, though, it already wasn't cool to be a wrestling fan. Still, you had
Yeah,
you had
it had
your
gone by.
small pockets, but
But you also went to high school in Montreal, so it was a big enough school. I'm sure that you could find a clique.
Something about the phrase "when I started high school in 2001" just made me physically angry.
It's okay. I just had to prosecute somebody who was born in 2001
Oh,
as an adult.
Yep. Yep. I've had to do that
really?
quite a few times. When I was working in the cell phone industry, someone coming in and wanting to start up an account, and then looking at
Let me
their
see your ID.
license
You're like,
ID and like,
bro, you're like 5. No, I'm not. I'm 21.
but I'm also of that age that when someone says 20 years ago, I still think of the 1970s.
Yeah, you're like 20 years ago. Oh, you mean when Guns N' Roses came out with their first album? Okay, like you
I
can
think
at
of
least
the
put yourself in
90s.
your 30s.
I'm a decade late. I still think of the 90s.
I think of the 80s. So and we're about 7 years apart, so that would make
Yeah,
sense.
that makes sense.
But anyways,
And
moving on.
Smarks, you're only 4 years older than me. I don't know why you think of the 70s, but
Because to me, I'm stuck. Like, what was 20 years before 1994?
okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Oh, I wasn't really around for that.
Yeah.
You weren't around in 1997, and you weren't around in 2022 or 2002. Yeah. Anyway, moving forward.
Moving forward to
We're all just depressed.
this is the last of the worst moment of the night. I nominate that exact moment right there when I had to think of people buying phones who weren't born until 2004. That was the worst moment of the night.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. The Bloodline not taking the loss when there's no titles on the line. I just think that that's a poor decision.
I agree. You build heat to the program, the storyline.
Yeah,
If
you don't
have them take the loss, and then you can have Roman go off in anger over why they lost, and blaming Jimmy or Jey Uso, even if they weren't the ones that caused the loss, right?
We the ones, y'all the twos.
Yeah. And then you can have Drew McIntyre and RK Bro celebrating in the ring, and over the course of the next month, holding it over their heads that, funny, I seem to remember we faced off and we beat you. And then Roman getting angrier and angrier, and maybe get angry at Paul Heyman because it's his fault that they had this match and they lost, and yada yada. I mean, it builds a storyline to have them lose. Right now, it took.
You can even have Heyman be like, my tribal chief. I made sure it wasn't for the titles.
Mm-hmm. But right now,
tribal chief, I love you. I love you.
This took all the heat off of Drew McIntyre and RK Bro, right?
Yeah.
Like,
my worst move.
It's hard for me to have Drew McIntyre argue that he wants a singles match against Roman
was
now.
Clean win. It was a clean win, right? Technically.
Yeah.
So
Roman got the win.
Yeah.
Against his team. Drew wasn't there to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Roman did whatever move to him in the table, and that was that. Like, it was a clean hit or whatever happened. Uranagi.
No,
I was going to say, no, that's a rock bottom.
Edamame. It was a rock bottom without actually driving through with his body, which hopefully does tell a story.
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
Can't even do a rock bottom right. Look back at this.
He's still on the belief that The Rock isn't coming back. It's happening. Eyebrow raise. Yeah, I agree with worst move in that, but they should if the
Worst
bloodline
moment.
was gonna win, worst moment, if the bloodline was gonna win, make freaking Randy or Riddle turn on each other. One of them turn on each other and end that, because then that would have.
Well, that's probably going to happen this week. Somebody's going to turn on somebody this week, but
Well, you should have
that's
done it on that
neither here nor
match, because then that would make sense for the bloodline to take advantage of the win, because that's what they would do, and it's good.
Because now they can have on Raw, they can have, Randy angry at Riddle for, the loss, and this was supposed to be our victory. We were, and
But Randy,
I will say the only moment I was mad about was almost winning, but
I mean, I kind of that's maybe the most predictable though, because at the same time, you're not going to make Omos lose. As much as we hate him, we don't like him. He's boring, no charisma. You can't make him lose. They're trying to make him.
he's not even hateable. He's not likable. He's not hateable. It's like
he's just, yeah, just, I don't know.
I would just
tell
as soon sit
Let's
around
do our
and
best,
take
because I'm
pictures
very
of myself.
depressed.
No more Omos and Bobby Lashley. Yay!
this is the last we get to talk about Omos and Bobby Lashley tonight.
Thank the Lord.
Moving on to best moment of the night.
It was really uplifting to hear Omos get a win. I mean, he hasn't been any. I'm just fucking
Shut your fucking face. No.
Best moment. For me, this is a toss-up between Seth doing flip flop and fly, or the attempting to do that, and quite frankly, Charlotte saying "Happy Mother's Day, Rhonda," and Rhonda losing her shit. I thought that was fucking gold.
Yeah. I think that's what made that match just even a hint better. Like that whole line, just like it fucking added so much more to the matchup.
Yeah. Worst decision of the night, I would say, is to have it in Rhode fucking Island. How does Rhode Island get a pay-per-view and we don't in Nebraska?
Well, someone's a jelly bean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. I'd be okay with Kansas City. Traveling distance, at least.
Yeah, at least it's someplace we can drive to.
I'll take Denver.
Do we think we're on the verge of getting sad Corbin again?
No.
He's been losing a lot.
Hopefully we just get Corbin.
Yeah,
Barrett,
just we
Corbin.
get the.
They showed him looking all sad in the ring.
I want Constable Corbin back. That's what I really
I want the Wolf Corbin back.
Fuck that. He has
He-
to grow his hair out again.
Yeah.
For that.
He lost the wolf when he cut off his hair
No more
and
wolf.
lost most of his hair first.
I'm okay with
And just had
Constable
stringy
Corbin.
hair. I'm just saying he looked horrible with the stringy hair.
Best moment, Austin Theory wasn't on this show.
Oh my god.
No love for the Austin Theory storyline right now.
Theory.
Yeah,
Sorry.
just theory.
Storyline.
One job. Yeah. Baseball.
What was almost the best moment, but then failed a little bit, was when Cody teased doing the pedigree,
Do it.
and then didn't do it, and that's why it didn't make it to best moment, because it would have been fucking epic if Cody had hit the pedigree.
Oh, also in worst moment, they cut out wrestling in his promo. In his intro, it says Royal Family instead of wrestling as more than one Royal Family.
Right. Yeah, I did miss that.
It just says Royal Family now.
Yeah, I did.
Because we don't have fucking wrestlers in WWE.
Nope. They're sports entertainers, but they're not the GOAT of sports entertainers. So he's in AEW. and you should
So
appreciate
now it just says royal family.
I can't comment on that because I actually tuned in after his entrance played, so I didn't see it.
Anyway, that's just a side note.
I will point out another nominee really quickly, talking about worst moment, since we're doing that, is fucking 18 minutes of ring entrances for the Bloodline versus Drew McIntyre and RK Bro.
Shut up.
Fucking took for fucking ever.
Shut up. I love the Bloodline's entrance. Shut up.
I don't care. 18 minutes, because then you followed it up with Drew McIntyre and his whole come out and wave the sword around.
His fucking Angela's sword of doom. Fuck.
Yeah, wave a sword around and then plunge it in, and then all the pyro, and then you get RK Bro's entrance and all of their shit, and the fucking fake doves flying up, and the stupid CGI snakes and stuff like that. I'm like, no, right? You take all the wind out of the sail with this long of entrances for everyone. That's something you can do at a WrestleMania where everyone's just hyped the entire night. But at a WrestleMania Backlash, let's get this shit going. Anyways.
How was the Impact pay-per-view? Did anyone watch that?
I didn't get to watch it. I heard good things about it. Big things happened from what I'm remembering. Briscoes won the tag championship, so they're going to be more regular on
the Briscoes
Impact.
were there. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me a second, because I'm
I didn't
forgetting
mean to
some of
diverge
the other.
I was just curious if you guys actually saw it.
No, like I said, I didn't get to.
Best moment. You didn't get the best moment? Tell me what your best moment is.
My best moment was, I don't know. The 30 seconds we got to see Finn Balor on screen. Like,
Can't blame you for that.
that was
You're a mark. Did you have one, JLB? A best moment?
I guess just that whole storytelling of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, but whatever. That's a match, so whatever. I'll put that for my match. But maybe honestly, the best moment was finally being able to notice Rhea Ripley on the main event. You know what I mean? Her basically being the third member was pretty interesting, and really excited for Rhea Ripley now. So that at least got me excited for that. I hope they don't drop the ball on it, because by God, they've been dropping the ball on her since she's been there. And I'm not talking about it in a sexual dominatrix way either. No, too much. Drop the ball. No? Okay. Yeah, so that would have been maybe my best moment.
No, that's good. In fact, that gives us a segue to our next category, which is Breakout Star of the Night.
Rhea Ripley.
I can see Smarks was busy doing something else, so I wanted to.
Yeah, he's probably designing again.
I feel like you were going to say Rhea Ripley there.
I'm just gonna say that. I mean, at least I'm the middle evolution, so.
You're Pikachu.
Yeah.
I'm Raichu. What's up, Pika?
Why are you like the big evolution from left or what the fuck? Are you the
I'm
oldest?
6'4", 300 plus pounds. That's why I'm the big evolution. I would be Charizard if you were Charmander.
Small, medium, large.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know Pokemon, so
Back to Breakout Star of the Night.
Apparently Charizard.
Yes, Charizard is the
most evolutioned Pokemon you can get.
No. There's.
I know I wear glasses, but I ain't a Pokemon fan, so don't judge a book by its cover.
Don't answer that one. Just leave it. I don't even know.
Nerds.
Okay. Breakout Star of the Night.
So Rhea Ripley for me. Because I don't know who else I can. Runner-up, Ronda Rousey. Because this is a match that I actually truly respected what she did in the ring. She took a lot of bumps. And so Rhea, because finally they're doing something with her. Hopefully they don't fuck it up. And Ronda Rousey for actually coming out and fucking wrestling properly. No points for the kilt, but like she looked like legitimate this time around, not just an MMA fighter. She actually is wrestling. So that's what I'm sticking to.
That one we'll go ahead and let you point out a couple of your wrestlers.
Yeah,
back
no,
there.
I got plenty of Funko Pops back here. There's like, the wrestling ones over here. Up there, I've got some Nickelodeon ones, and then back there's a bunch of fucking like other like horror movies and movie ones over there. Everything.
Wow.
Yeah,
Very
I'm gonna point this out. Is this even live? We're not responding. Yeah, I'm fucking pointing
We're
to my
responding
Funko.
live on our
Yeah,
conversations.
my Funko Pops. That's what you wanted to know, right?
Yeah. and some of them we're not going to respond to because they're silly. Anyway,
I got
moving forward.
I got a blurred wall, so no
I
Funko
actually
Pops.
have to agree with JLB that the breakout star of the night is Ronda Rousey. This is the first time I've really enjoyed a Ronda Rousey match, and didn't think somebody was gonna.
I thought you were going to say it's the first time we agreed.
No, we agree a lot.
No, we agree a lot.
It's tough for me to say Cody Rhodes was the breakout star.
What?
But like, because it's tough. I hate to say it, because like Cody Rhodes already is a
off my
star.
camera now.
He's a big star and all this stuff. And we expected this to be the best match tonight. There's no argument there. But
Don't even want to give you the privilege to look at me with that.
But no, the privilege to look at you, you're rewarding me by taking your screen down. So. This is feeding me. So but I
was
like,
the beginning of the evolution of a Pokemon.
for me, that match was so good, just all down the line, and Cody Rhodes looked great in it. So that's probably mine. But like, it's true. It's hard to say breakout star because like almost everyone is a fucking star already before this, except for Omos, and he looked like a fucking tool anyways. So
yes, we actually do.
I do agree with Jessica's.
Both have the same green shirts on our walls. We're just going to clean these up real quick. We do both have the same green shirts on our walls because we both went to the same pay-per-view, or went to the same live show and got the same sets of autographs.
Yep. The important thing to note is they're not exactly the same because those autographs are different signatures, different spots on them, and they're technically slightly different colors because.
And yes, we have cute beards. You are correct.
Mine's slightly ungroomed, but you know it is.
Well, you're also not on. So right now they're
so
talking
right now
about
it's just our
beards.
beards.
Oh, son of a bitch.
We do want to answer Jessica's question because it is about wrestling. I don't think Roman Reigns should be continued to be pushed the way he is. He simply doesn't resonate with the zeitgeist. They should go with someone like Damian Priest for a mega push. They actually kind of gave Damian Priest a mega push on that U.S. Title run, and it looks like that group is going to get quite the push. I would assume that if there's going to be somebody who turns on Edge, it's probably going to be Damian Priest who does it when that time comes. Hopefully they're doing some long-term booking here.
Yes. To answer this question, they did sign the shirt. Yes. We took the certain shirt to the show and went around, and there's Jordan Grace signature, Chelsea Green, Jonathan Gresham, Warhorse, Billy Gunn. There's a bunch of them on there. It was almost the entire roster of the Zello Pro show. That shirt is one of the designs we have up on our
website
store
at shop.spreadshirt.com/rawandoterwbe.
Because it is great. The wrestlers loved it. It's a great way to get signatures at an event. All the signatures on one shirt, and then you can display it or wear it. It's
also very easy for them to sign.
Yeah, they love it because signing on the shirt is a lot easier than signing just on the fabric of a shirt. And so,
all right. A couple others that we just got. Yes, Jessica, you're right. Nobody cares about the U.S. title, but he did have a push with it. So,
But again, his push maybe wasn't as dignified because it was with the U.S. title. I think Damian Priest, though, does need to get a little bit more charisma and be a little bit more of a badass. He, even as a heel, I don't know, he doesn't really talk much, I guess. Edge is doing all the talking, but that's kind of the issue. Yeah, I think Judgment Day is still going to be growing, though, Stribs. So, Jesus.
Yeah, the Edge and Judgment Day cringe. I would agree, it is a little bit cringe. So was the corporate ministry before it became the corporate ministry. I can't blame them for that.
I think Edge has great mic work, though. I do like Edge's heelish character. I love his theme song. I think that theme song is great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Edge as this heel. I think it suits him better. I didn't care for him as a face. So the group itself isn't great.
Putting it on,
I guess.
huh?
But Jesus,
All right.
he's all excited. But yeah,
We'll do this real quick on the count of three. If all three of you guys are ready for this, can you shout, let's go? Let's go!
Or
Yeah,
in
that's what
Mario,
you
let's go.
What's the deal with the shirt? It's an autograph shirt. His other shirt is a Sasha Bear shirt that we designed when my idiot ass in one episode said Sasha Bear instead of Sasha Banks, and he designed a shirt. So, hi. And
Hello.
no, this is a wrestling podcast. I'm sorry. We do talk about wrestling.
Yes.
The Sharpie on the shirt is, in fact, not real.
Mm-hmm.
And Smarks just did it. I cannot put the shirt on that's behind me,
Yes.
mostly because it's 2 sizes too small. I am a gorilla.
He got
I am
bigger.
a very large human.
He is a very, very large man, and
Oh my God.
they did not have the shirt in his size at the time. And
Did you Photoshop those shirts into the background? No, they are legit and real.
I
Look
like
up
that rolling
more
comments.
I
news
did
on this.
Photoshop the design for the shirt that is in the
And
background.
again, there is no way mine fits because it doesn't fit.
No.
I'm a divorced dad. Yep, that's it. It's good. Jesus, some of these comments are ridiculous. We're gonna skip some of the other ones that aren't so great. Green Shirt Gang, we will absolutely let you be a part of the Green Shirt Gang. Just go buy a shirt, and let's get back to wrestling.
And where can they go buy a shirt?
Shop.spreadshirt.com/Raw and Order WBU.
WBU.
Or the link is in the doobly-doos, so you can go there.
If you hit us up at Raw and Order WBU on the Twitter page, we will vet our people to be on the show. So everybody who's asking to be on the show, just go ahead and hit us up at Raw and Order WBU, and we will vet you before you can be on the show with us. And they've given you where you can go. So the link is down below. All right, let's.
Yes, back to talking
Dirk,
about.
you absolutely can go buy the shirt, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, the important thing to mention, remember,
Not going to
this
be
shirt
with the autographs.
does not have any autographs on it when you purchase it. It is a blank autograph shirt. It just has the design and then spaces to sign on it. It is up to you to get autographs put on it. But it comes in any color, so if you're going to a Raw event that has a meet and greet, or a SmackDown or an AEW event, you can buy a shirt in, or almost any
Red,
like
blue, yellow,
indie
any
wrestling.
color.
You can buy a shirt to fit that particular show.
Yes, the shirt is blank, and you can go to a show and get your own autographs, which is exactly what we did.
Yep.
Dirk, if you want it for free, then you're going to have to do something else. And I don't know what that something else is going to be. Hit us up at Raw and Order WBU on Twitter. Moving forward. Right.
To answer just another question, the hat that says Pissant Podcast, it's on our merch store as well. It's a play on how Triple H referred to AEW as a Pissant t-shirt company. So we made it a parody of the AEW logo.
Also happens to be our Facebook page.
But yeah, it's up there. Also, for Boat Boy, disagreeing with my take on Cody Rhodes being the breakout star, I get it. That's why I said it's really tough for me, because he was the one who put on in my opinion, the star-making performance tonight. But I agree, he 100% is a star already, and so it's really hard to call him a breakout star. I 100% get it.
Look at you getting all flustered when people.
So I get it. That's why I thought it was tough, but I won't have. But can we autograph the shirt in all the spaces before I send it to you? Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to autograph any of the spaces. So
You can make a
Photoshop
donation at our Discord server, and if that donation is enough to cover all of those things, like shipping to Montreal and back to Nebraska and all the places we live, we'll be happy to autograph it and send it to you. So anyway, moving on to next
Funko Pop of China.
oh, look at that, another Funko Pop. Okay, now we all
pay-per-view
showed off our Funko
winners. We're gonna go to best line of the night. Best line.
I think all of us can probably agree it's the Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, definitely the Happy Mother's Day.
Hands down. Did you just add that in? I don't remember a best line being there before.
It's been there for a bit.
We just don't have any lines to give, I feel like.
I think it was like 4 or 5 pay-per-views ago I added it in. It wasn't there from the beginning though, so. But yeah, I think Happy Mother's Day is probably the best line, just the setup for it and everything. There weren't a ton of like promos tonight.
No, none at all.
It was mostly just ring entrances and then wrestling. So,
yeah,
that's it.
So, and my best line also goes to Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, for sure.
Next one, best performance of the night. Anybody? I think it's Cody.
Yeah.
I mean,
there was a reason
that's shocking going against Seth. If it's not Cody, it's Seth. At the end of the day, but and I think that's why they're gonna do a Cody Seth 3. I think it's gonna happen.
I think that has to happen. Is Hell of a Cell.
Oh my God, yeah. In a legit Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Sure. Not at the pay-per-view. Just inside a Hell in a Cell. I don't care what pay-per-view it is, but you got to make that a thing. Hopefully for one of your stadium shows.
I think it's very lucky. He's already came, though.
Yeah,
now he's here.
Yeah, he came a couple weeks ago. Now he's done. He's exhausted, I'm sure. He's absolutely fucking
truly exhausted.
I was going to say, it's been a hot minute, but it's been 6 months, so yeah, he's definitely exhausted.
I would say best performance is Cody. He put on a great match. Just all around. His intro was fire.
Contender for match of the year, I would even say. So
it was actually better than the WrestleMania match. It was that good.
Yep.
So
So
underhype of the night.
But
Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin.
I guess
probably the most underhyped because it was the best match that had basically no build.
Yeah,
I mean,
really good fucking match for
what it was.
Riddick Moss.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not the best match of the. It's probably at best third best match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
But really probably fourth.
I'd say fourth. Yeah.
Yeah. And realistically still very underhyped and much more than I expected out of that match.
Oh, absolutely. I'd agree with that.
I gotta show this comment. This is hilarious. One thing more embarrassing than Cody's neck tattoo is having a green shirt with autographs. I wholeheartedly agree. But you know what? Cody's neck tattoo is badass, and we went to a show and we enjoyed it and had a blast. And it's got a lot of autographs. So I'm looking forward to having a red shirt with autographs after we go to Raw in June.
Yep.
So
and hopefully a black or gold shirt with autographs after an AEW show if they ever fucking come near us.
I gotta go. Yeah, SmackDown's coming here in August.
Get your shirt, bud.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a blue shirt for that because whether you like it or not, it's still gonna hang up somewhere on my wall. It's probably gonna be blurred, but it's gonna happen.
That's all right.
That's a genius idea, and screw you guys for not liking it.
Well, there's always haters on the internet. That's why we ignore the haters ones.
Exactly.
And
What's after under hype?
it is OMG moment of the night. What is the OMG moment of the night?
So there was something in the Cody Seth match where he was gonna do the pedigree, and then he kind of flipped him up like this, and then.
Oh, are you talking about where he was going to do the vertebraker?
The vertebraker.
I
that's
thought
it,
he
yeah.
was going to hit that vertebraker. I was like, this is not done in WWE. This is fucking badass.
That's what I'm saying. So,
and the fact that they actually called it out as a vertebraker.
Yeah, that was. And you know what? The number of times that Pat McAfee fucked up on commentary, I thought was fantastic.
Even if he fucks up, it's still entertaining. Oh,
yeah. Well, I know. It's just he gave somebody their full name at one point. He said, "Is that the Fiend in the front row?"
Yeah, that was
like,
very valid. I'm like, yes.
Those were my own. I'm gonna give it to Pat McAfee's commentary and
comments,
his potential being fired.
Vince must have yelled at him.
Oh, I can't imagine having the earpiece in. Oh my god!
I'm mentioning him. I fired him years ago. Vince was last year. I fired him.
I mean, in the upside, I don't know if Vince would be super angry because they still own the trademark on the Fiend. So,
and
they're
they
probably
allowed
like, yeah,
the
whatever.
kid to wear the mask.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, can you still buy the mask on the WWE shop?
I'm sure you can.
Yeah,
let's find out.
If anything, it's free.
If Cody Rhodes' neck tattoo was an energy drink, this would be it.
That would be it. His tights were pretty dope.
His whole outfit was pretty dope. But.
Yep.
Anyway, but yeah, that's my OMG moment of the night. Is McAfee. I understand the vertebraker. I also think that you could throw in Ronda Rousey and Charlotte when Charlotte said, "Happy Mother's Day." Like, this is the first Mother's Day for Ronda, and she's wrestling.
Yeah. That's
like there's some sass to that.
I will give one nod to the Ronda Rousey Charlotte Flair match because you know my opinion on the match, but the armbar over the top turnbuckle, over the top turnbuckle to the outside where Rousey was just fucking hanging off Charlotte's arm.
Yeah,
that was pretty fucking.
That could also be best move.
That was pretty badass.
That was really badass.
And then the Styles Clash.
Yeah, exactly.
Off the ropes.
And that was really well done. That was great storytelling too. Couldn't use his arm. He needed the help from the ropes. He got it. Took advantage of the scenario. That was pretty cool.
I am
really happy that it wasn't a disappointing pay-per-view. I'm just so happy that
I'm going to tell you
I don't
right
have to
now
pitch.
on Shop WWE there is no Fiend or Bray stuff. I know the standard clause in the contract allows them to continue selling stuff for I think 6 months after your release. So it could just be that it's been long enough after the release. That
Walmart's still selling Cody Rhodes stuff from AEW.
Yeah.
Did you say you wanted the Sheeta? Did you say you wanted the Sheeta?
Mm-hmm.
The Sheeta AEW figure?
Yeah.
I already have it.
Let's say because it's up in Lincoln.
Jeez.
They also have Dax, have Dax and Cash.
Right there.
Hey, FTR, nice.
Yeah, they have all of FTR.
Yeah,
all of FTR.
Right now, my local stores they have Lance Archer.
Yeah,
they
Lance
have
Archer. They have dozens of Codys. Like they just offloaded them.
Are they the Cody LJN figures? The ones that look like fucking non-articulated plastic?
Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look. I haven't bought one.
Like this?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So, the only reason I bought that is because it's a Walmart exclusive coloring of it, and it was released right after Cody left.
And it is lining the shelves at Walmart's.
Yeah. So I bought one. I'm gonna keep it in the box.
They also had Matt and Nick Jackson at my local Walmart.
Yeah, Matt and Nick Jackson and
Jackson
Lance Archer are the only ones that are at my local store, and
then Cody.
they don't even have Cody left at my store now, right? But they had a few of them here.
Anyway, moving forward. Sorry, the OMG's
done.
Best move. This one's gonna go to the Ronda Rousey Charlotte, that dangling from the top rope thing. For me, that is, what in the hell are you doing? You're both gonna die. You're gonna dislocate all of Charlotte, not just a particular joint, but all of Charlotte.
Well, I feel like Ronda Rousey actually also got hurt when she fell too. When she was pulling her, and then obviously she fell or whatever. Like, it looked like she hit her shoulder pretty bad on the floor there. But who knows? Yeah, I'm just really, really shocked, and I'm happy. I can say I have respect for Ronda Rousey now. Not saying she's still going to do great promos; those are probably still going to be trash. But at least she's improving in the ring, and I could at least digest a Ronda Rousey match. Finally,
yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, Smarks, but it was fire. You got to slow your haterade for Ronda Rousey, at least now in a ring perspective.
It was better. It was better. And Smarks is going to want to do a dozen quality matches before he says she had a quality match.
I know. It's going to be a hot minute. Are we done with Rousey and Flair, though? That's going to be done now? Is Flair going to be pissed and want to go for the title?
I hope so, but I'm not holding my breath on it.
Little Liv Morgan or Sasha or some place to move there, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, it's true. It's
well, that's
Raw,
the deal.
Right?
I mean, they've got enough talent they can move on, but
she's gonna go to SmackDown then.
I suspect they're gonna keep the feud a little bit longer. Charlotte's gonna have one more shot to get it back.
Unless it's Lacey versus Ronda. Swear to God, if I have to hear another Lacey promo, well, I think we're done because now we finally saw her.
Is Lacey coming too?
Good for her. She came finally. Yeah.
I mean, she had a baby. It's time to come again.
Wow. Just fucking wow.
Those promos were dreadful though. Like, first time, okay, cool. Tell me your life story. But after like the third time, I'm like, I don't give a shit. Just fucking wrestle. Like, I'm not watching fucking Young and the Restless over here. I'm watching wrestling. Go into the fucking ring and wrestle. I don't want to hear about your sob stories. No offense. Sorry, not sorry. But make it like a YouTube promo or something. Have it on your social medias. But what a waste of fucking time. But now she's there. Finally. Hopefully we don't get any more promos. I think she's going to turn heel, though. Because with that announcement...
Lacey?
Yes. Yeah, I think, right? That's what you felt too?
Lacey plays better as a heel anyways.
Yeah. Sassy Southern Belle does not do a good face.
Well, she's not a Sassy Southern Belle, though, technically. Now she's an All-American who has a sad story.
Okay.
Yep. Until she turns heel, and then she's a Sassy Southern Belle again.
Yep.
Okay.
Last one. Big one here. Match of the night.
Is it really big? Is it really big? I feel like
it's the big one, but I think we're all going to be on the same page. I suspect we're all going to say Cody versus Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah, we are. Fuck. In this order, I as I always do, I'm going to go ahead and rank them worst to first, and so it's almost Lashley.
Worst to first.
Almost Lashley. Probably Ronda Charlotte, which was again a B minus match, and had spots in it that were A plus. So, Madcap Moss and Baron Corbin probably are tied for that 5 spot or 5 and 4 spot. Third, I'm going to give to probably the Bloodline and the Bloodline and the Scottish clan.
Bro.
It didn't get as much talk tonight, and it didn't get talk because it was what we expected. I
I feel like it was almost better than what we expected, or at least for me.
I liked Roman's methodical tag in, tag out. I
Yeah.
thought that was really cool.
Just always a great heel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Um,
thank God he went heel.
Second is Edge and AJ. I made the argument earlier that the Ministry was not a great great push or great thing until it was a great thing. And so I'm gonna be patient with this, but I don't know how I feel about this faction thus far. It isn't me. Of course, I'm not a huge Damian Priest fan. I apologize to our commenter earlier, Jessica, who is a huge Damian Priest fan. But I don't know. I'm just not entirely in on this one yet. I probably will be at some point. And then, of course, the best match of the night is Cody and Seth.
Oh.
And I'm going to guess you guys would rank them in the similar order. You might move Ronda. You might move Ronda.
I definitely move Madcap up for sure. Ronda, I would say, is third. No. Yeah, Ronda, I would say, is third. Bloodline would be second. And Edge and AJ would be... No. Edge and AJ is third. Ronda and Thing is second. Bloodline... I'm fucking my shit up all kinds. So first, I'll go from first to worst.
Okay.
So we got Seth Cody, then we got Bloodline, then we got Edge and AJ, and then we got Charlotte Rousey, and then Madcap, and then Omos.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's gonna just be around those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you have the Bloodline that high.
I really enjoyed it, man. Anytime the Usos are in a match, though, they really put it out there, and just everyone did tremendously well between Roman's heel work too. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
AJ Edge had great storytelling, but like I don't know. I keep thinking Edge Seth moments, and Edge versus Seth feuds were just so phenomenal that I don't know. Like I expected more from Edge, I guess, which is weird, but it's not that it was bad. It's just I've seen better, I guess. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, on that note, we're going to remind you guys to check the doobly-doos.
Yep. Before we sign off, there's a non-WWE thing that I wanted to talk about. And that is that they released the brackets for the AEW Owen Hart tournament.
You want to put them up?
Both the men's and the women's brackets have been released. I'm trying to bring them. Let's see. It's probably on AEW's one. How AEW does not own AEW.com.
Really?
It's owned by
I think it's AEW
company.
Wrestling.
Yeah. It's owned by an investment company, I think. So
there you go.
they can't get it. But, I mean, they've got the money. So, yeah, it's allelitewrestling.com. But I'm going there because I want to pull up the brackets. Because I want to talk about the brackets and maybe do some predictions on something with the brackets.
You want us to predict the Jokers?
Yes, I want to talk about the Jokers and predict the Jokers, but more specifically, I want to show the Jokers and where they fit in the roster.
Why so serious?
No.
Why so serious?
That's what I'm saying. I thought you were like all prepared, bud. Like you were like completely distracted.
I only just thought of this while we were in the process of the podcast, and so there we go. because first of all, we didn't know going into this that there was going to be a Joker, right?
Right.
That was a new thing, new twist brought up that kind of surprised us. But I got the men's, now I gotta find the women's bracket.
So I mean, while you're trying to pull it up,
This
I
moment of
guess
silence
we
brought to you
can-
in the library. Sorry, go ahead for it.
while you're trying to get it pulled up, so one, it changed. When I first saw it for the men's, there was a Joker. I was like, okay, I know who it is. And then I saw the
That's-
women's tournament had it too. I'm like, oh shit, completely different person. I'm thinking now, since there's two specific people who are a couple, who are not currently signed anywhere, I think, or who have left the said company. I had originally thought that the Joker, if it was just the men, was going to be Cesaro. I was down.
Yep.
It was there. It was good. And then the woman had a Joker. I'm like, oh, Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
It's almost like somebody sent that statement in our podcast direct thread to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean,
Almost.
I don't read your guys' comments all the time, so I must have missed that one. Apologies.
I mean, Smark stole it from another Facebook page, but
Oh, okay.
No. Another
But,
Facebook
I mean,
page posted it, and I forwarded it to you. That's
Okay.
not stealing. That's forwarding
Forwarding.
their message.
look at this.
They got all the credit.
They got all the credit. Oh, that's valid. It wasn't his idea. It was theirs.
It's-
So,
they
but is
released an-
Candice LeRae even out out of her NXT contract technically?
Yes,
She
her
got
contract
braggers.
ended. They have revealed and confirmed that her contract ended within the last few weeks, and AEW and WWE chose not to, for whatever reason, extend her contract due to her pregnancy. So her contract ended, which means she's available immediately. She has no 90-day or anything like that.
Okay.
It would be a 30-day for NXT, but she has no compete whatsoever.
Right.
And so yeah, that's where things changed. When it was just the Joker for just the men's match, I thought, oh yeah, that easily could be Cesaro. That I was probably 90% certain that it was Cesaro. And then, wait a second. Now there's a women's match with the Joker, and then it comes out that wait, they
What woman is
both
she
have
facing?
Jokers. Oh well, that's what I'm trying to bring this up. I think it's Britt Baker, but I'm not sure.
Ooh. So do you honestly have Britt Baker lose though? Because you can't have that Joker being someone big and then make them lose either. So if it's Britt Baker, I don't know. That's maybe no bueno. The winner of this just gets a trophy, right? Doesn't get like a
Yeah,
title
at the
shot
moment
for
they get the
something?
Owen Hart Memorial Trophy.
Okay.
Kind of like King of the Ring.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker versus the Joker, Riho versus Ruby Soho, Red Velvet versus Hikaru Shida is and then the winner of Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter will take on the winner of Britt Baker versus the Joker. The winner of Riho versus Ruby Soho will take on the winner of Red Velvet versus Hikaru Shida. Right. So in that, the only way I think the Joker beats Britt Baker is if it's a really big name. And Candice LeRae might be the biggest name in terms of current women free agents, right? I mean, we know Mia Yim just showed up in Impact Wrestling, I guess. That's one of the
No, we
things that
didn't.
happened at the pay-per-view. Importantly, it was spoiled in the run-up to the pay-per-view because one of the wrestlers tweeted out a video of the setup, and unbeknownst to him, they were doing a trial run of her entrance
Oh,
on the
Jesus.
Jumbotron. So he had to delete that really quickly, but once it's out there, it's fucking out there, right?
Right. That's the power of the internet.
And the webs.
So for the men's side, you've got Rey Fenix versus Kyle O'Reilly and Samoa Joe versus the Joker. And the winner of those matches face each other. And Jeff Hardy versus Darby Allin. Adam Cole versus Dax Harwood. The winner of those two matches face each other. This is a little bit easier because with Samoa Joe being the Ring of Honor World Television Champion, he can afford to take a loss to a relatively big name. You know, especially if it's Cesaro. That's when that came out, I was like, Cesaro beating Samoa Joe. First of all, sign me up for that match. I want to see it.
Right.
I want to see the swing. I want to see the Castagnoli tornado.
I don't think he'll be able to do that
on Joe.
He'll be able to do it for a short time. Pound for pound, he's the strongest wrestler in the ring. That's what they always said.
Those
on
two,
WWE. And so I could see if it was Cesaro, that's an easy one. Samoa Joe beats Cesaro. If it's Johnny Gargano, that's a little tougher because Johnny Gargano is considerably smaller than Samoa Joe.
Right.
So it's an underdog story you have to tell there. But at the same point, I want to point out AEW does have a history of the Joker not being the winner, right?
Right.
In fact, it's been rarer for AEW for the Joker to actually win anything, right?
Or be a really big, huge surprise, technically.
Well, sometimes they've been big surprises, but I
mean, aside from Ruby Soho as a Joker, you had Orange Cassidy as one of them too. Like, not necessarily a big surprise.
Technically, Orange Cassidy wasn't the Joker.
Oh,
he
no,
was
he
the
just came in like that.
22nd
right?
entry.
Men. Okay.
Into thing. But Ruby Soho, but like Brian Cage was the Joker. I'm trying to remember who. Matt Sydal was the Joker once. Not a huge name, but he's continued. Mercedes Martinez was the Joker and then left to go to WWE and then came back now and is the Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Leo Rush was the Joker and then retired from wrestling and then came back and then retired again.
So they have plenty of surprises.
John Silver and Alex Reynolds were the Jokers. Ruby Soho and Hangman Page was the Joker one time. So they have had, and those are just in the casino battle royals, but they've had Jokers in other events as well.
Wild cards that don't have to win it.
So,
anyways. Fact, I believe that Hangman Page is the only one of those that has won whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then he lost to Chris Jericho.
Yep. So
who should be getting his Appreciate Me shirt this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
Yeah,
I can't wait for him.
Thanks
to at least
for narking.
I have no problem narking. No problem. Till
the he can defend himself.
Order shows up, it's not a problem.
When the cease and desist order shows up, it's going right back there on my wall.
Also,
your green shirt,
side note, you guys need to vote when he will wear it on TV or if he will wear it on TV.
I think if he wears it on TV, it's going to be within a week of him seeing it, which the next step is just because we sent it to him doesn't mean he's the one who sees it right away, you know? Yes. Because we send it effectively care of AEW. So,
I would love if AEW was like, dude, you got a shirt, you want to wear it. Like if
I would
it shows up
anticipate-
Wednesday and he wears it, but
Yeah.
if he's gonna wear it soon, it'll be probably not this Wednesday. It'll probably be Rampage on Friday.
I mean, just in the grand scheme of things, probably someone opens it, looks at it, makes sure that it's not something dangerous, and then we'll pass it on to him, and he will either go heh and put it on, or heh and throw it in a hamper.
And likely pay somebody else to send us a thank you on our.
Yeah.
Or maybe he'll just put it on Twitter. Or maybe he'll use it at a Fozzy show or something.
Yeah. Either way,
Either
fun
way.
stuff.
As long as we see it somewhere.
So,
But yeah, that should be arriving at.
I'm gonna give a hot take. I don't think it'll be Gargano and
I would say you're probably right, if only because
I think it could be Cesaro.
I think it could be either Gargano or Candice LeRae, but I don't think it'll be both of them as the Joker. If that makes
Yes,
sense.
that's fire and it's great, but
Now it could be
Cheap
both of them are there.
yeah, Gargano could come out to introduce Candice LeRae, which would be kind of cool.
Yep. Or it could be that Gargano interferes in a different match or comes out in a different match and, is somewhere there. Especially since, even though we got the brackets, there's no reason to say that both those matches are going to be on the same night. One of them could be on a Dynamite, one of them could be on a Rampage.
Correct.
One of them could be 1 week, one of them could be 2 weeks later, or whatever.
I think Claudio coming out and Gargano coming out to congratulate him right after that, on his win over Samoa Joe, or attacking a broken Samoa Joe already would be fire. I think that's fine.
Or frankly,
Were they in ROH together?
I just assume so, but I don't know.
So, but I'm not sure. But
Okay,
let's
so
see.
it wasn't like a huge feud that you know of. Okay.
No, but attacking somebody who's already down, great heel work for Gargano. Anyway, I'll come back in. I can see you want to get off screen.
But
I know that's why I got off screen and came back. I'm like, oh wait, he's gonna be alone. Can't leave our friends alone.
I like that you're two-shirting it right now, bud.
Well, once I had them both on, I
Raw
was like,
order.
yeah. I don't want to be that fat guy struggling to get out of a shirt on video.
I'll give you a quarter.
So, Johnny Gargano, as far as I can tell, did not wrestle in Ring of Honor at all against
Joe.
Against Cesaro at all. So he wrestled. There was one match in PWG but it was like a multi-person match that had like 30-man Royal Rumble. Had Johnny Gargano and Brody Lee and Claudio Castagnoli and Colin Delaney and Eddie Kingston and Jervis Cottonbelly. And
The other thing that would be really fun is if Gargano comes out and wrecks them both.
well, that's the deal. Is like it'll be interesting if Gargano does come to AEW. Do they bring him in as a face or a heel? I personally believe he does better as a face. And so it could be a situation where someone's getting double teamed and he's the person who comes to rescue them. Or it could be him playing heel and being the one.
Remember, it was his idea to turn heel, so in NXT. So
yeah. But that's because it's more fun to be heel.
yes,
But just because it's more fun doesn't mean you're better at it. So
true.
in fairness, though, as far as I can tell, Johnny Gargano only ever faced off directly in a way with Cesaro one time, and it was actually a tag team match with the Bar versus Johnny Gargano and Ciampa DIY, right? That was back in 2019. So as far as I know, they never did anything. So let's see. Samoa Joe. Johnny Gargano and Samoa Joe, of course, had their NXT run.
3 quick shout outs to our series of comments we had earlier. Yes, we are Kino.
I'm old.
Very,
I don't know
very
what
Kino.
means.
Kino is very
Good.
Also, this
Kind of fire. We're a slight burn.
I will point that was he said that shortly before he asked us who we thought had the bigger dick, Roman Reigns or was it
I was leaving those
McIntyre?
comments off, bud, because they were
No,
shitty.
that's fine. I just want to point out that we can accept the praise, but also point out that he was asking something that we weren't going to answer. I mean,
Well,
mostly
now I'm
'cause
just curious who the other wrestler.
mostly because it's Roman.
Cody.
I mean, it's Roman, right?
And
It's
I don't know who has it. I mean,
we're not doing this, guys. We're not having a conversation about this. Is there anything else to talk about?
Because it's
Who are
Roman.
the jokers?
It's what it is.
It's Roman.
There's no conversation to be had.
If the rumors about skin pigmentation matter, then Roman's less white than Cody.
We're not having this conversation.
You're not having this conversation. I'm not having this conversation because the conversation's over. We know the answer. It's done.
Roman, right?
Why are we still talking about it?
We will acknowledge that.
Yes, we will acknowledge your answer.
And appreciate it. Appreciate
it. Appreciate me, damn it. I hope he wears it on AEW Dynamite. Or even if they make a knockoff of our knockoff, I'm down.
Yeah. It's fine by me. I'll take a knockoff of a knockoff.
That's it.
And then we'll send them a cease and desist order. Boom!
Yes. We will go to
Put it on our wall
LegalZoom.com.
back here.
LegalZoom.com.
LegalZoom.com. Hashtag still not sponsored.
And print out a standard cease and desist.
At which point, Tony Khan will throw it in the garbage because he didn't care.
And we will then frame our own cease and desist right there.
Right back there.
And it will not be photoshopped.
This is from when we sent a cease and desist to Tony Khan. We never got a reply. And, anyways, but on that note, let's go ahead and wrap things up. Close the book on the wrestling booking unit. It was indeed not the worst pay-per-view of the year so far. It was the worst promoted pay-per-view of the year so far.
That's valid.
It had basically nothing like driving you to want to watch it. But
Well, I mean, the Seth Cody, maybe.
Yeah. Can we
That was
agree?
pretty much it.
Under Hype of the Night, this pay-per-view was better than we thought it would be.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Apparently that WWE thought it would be.
yeah.
And kudos to WWE. We give WWE a lot of shit. Kudos to WWE though for how they did the match rundown though. Because honestly, that Cody Seth match being the first match made me happy. It sounds weird, but it made me more excited to watch the rest because I was kind of curious. I'm like, you're very confident to make that your first match of the night, that your other matches aren't going to suck ass. And you know what? For the most part, 4 out of 6 of them, fine, I'll give you the Matt Cap. 5 out of 6 of them didn't necessarily suck ass. So
Now, that being said, almost none of the matches made me go, I'm really looking forward to watching Raw or SmackDown this week. Like, you know.
well, there was only one title match,
Yes.
right? So maybe SmackDown, because I mean, maybe not. I don't want to have to hear a Ronda promo, but maybe SmackDown to see who's Ronda's next opponent if it doesn't happen to be Charlotte Flair.
I will give a props call out to Becky Lynch for tweeting out when I was Raw Women's Champion. I defended it at every pay-per-view. A little bit of a burn towards Bianca, but
Well, it's
She was-
WWE's fault for not putting her on the show.
well, Bianca was too busy being at the Kentucky Derby.
Oh.
She didn't want to have to get on a flight and fly all the way up to
I mean,
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island
Rhode
Why?
Island.
for a fucking premium streaming event. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and close the book on this. Make sure to check all the links in the doobly-doo down below. That's going to be links to the merch store where you can get shirts like this, or the Sasha Bear one I'm wearing underneath it, or the Pissant podcast shirt, or
the boatload of stuff that I've got with like Nebraska, America's belly button.
America's belly
And
button.
if you want to get also the Appreciate Me shirt before it gets cease and desist, by all means, please do, because people should appreciate you anyways. So get a shirt to make sure that they remember to appreciate you every day. And we appreciate our mothers. Happy Mother's Day to your mothers as well and mine. And I hope everyone enjoyed a great Mother's Day.
Yes.
And WrestleMania Backlash.
Guy just kept going. It was like he was closing out the show.
Yeah.
No.
It was like you can also make sure to follow us on the social medias. The links are all in the doobly-doos, but you can follow me on pretty much any of the social media at Raw and Order WBU, except on Facebook where it's at Pissant Podcast. You can follow DA Fabe at
DA Vincent K. Fabe.
and you
Appreciate
can
the Fabe.
you can follow
Acknowledge the Fabe.
JLB at
JLB420. Real Talk Radio, though, is the brand at Real Talk Radio 8, anchor.fm/RTR. I also game a lot on Twitch, playing a little WWE 2K22, and also that's JLB TLC 25. Links are in the doobly-doos. Linktree, all is there. So by all means, if you like movies, music, video games, pretty much anything entertainment, you can follow me there.
But on that note, we're going to go ahead and close the book on the Wrestling Booking Unit. Thank you all for coming to our review of WWE WrestleMania Backlash 2022. We will be back in a couple days with our Fantasy Booking Institute. We will see you soon.
Peace out.